Don't you find it interesting how a society that seems to profess to reject a monarchy worships the crown? Every single body on this planet, it would seem, has put that muzzle on and is literally worshipping, if only because of fear, the corona. But they say they don't want a monarchical society. Are you sure you know what you want? Everybody seems to have been brainwashed with this idea that having a king is somehow evil. And then they go vote for one, right? Well, that's what they think that they're doing. Everybody that voted for Trump did that because they had hoped he would be able to make some kind of change. Is America great yet? As an aside, are you guys ready for another 4 years of making America even greater than what it has become as of late? It's only gonna get greater. Try me. So all those people who say, having a monarchy would be evil, a lot of them, they go and they vote for a king like Trump, and then they say, "Oh, damn, he's not a king after all. His hands are bound by the shadow government. He would do all the things that are good, and he wants to do all these good things. He's just impotent." But when you went to the polls, that's not what you said. He was going to make America great again. He was going to be your king. But then you turn around and you say you're somehow against the monarchy. You know who the biggest monarchists are? The guys that are most in favor of a king or ruler. You know who? The libertarians. What? Huh? As soon as I say that having a monarchy, qualifying that with this condition that this monarch should be raised as a good person. And in my opinion, the only institution that's able to do that in current society is the church, Christian church. Now, maybe other religions are able of doing this as well. Fine. This is my bias because even though I rejected Roman Catholicism, that's how I was raised. It's a pretty good system. So long as you do as they say. Not as they do as they say, right? That's it. And I find it interesting how a lot of people get triggered when I use this allegorical language, right? Good and evil, heaven and hell, God, demon, Satan, right? They get triggered. It upsets them, but those are the people that wouldn't burn any books. Those are the people that want free speech. Nah, dummy. Everybody wants to burn books. Nobody wants free speech. We just got to make sure we burn the right, or more precisely, the wrong books and eliminate all this evil speech. What's wrong with that? Maybe that's a topic for another video, but let me try to get back on track here. Okay, who do you think would have made the best king in the Game of Thrones? Most people would probably say Jon Snow, right? The guy that didn't want to be king. Probably because he realized, at least initially, on some level, if only subconsciously, that he was part dragon, demon, prone to evil, Targaryen. And seeing as he kept killing his girlfriends, well, yeah, I guess he was that. You know who else I think would have made a good king? Jaime Lannister, except he had his own demons, his family. What's interesting is that people have been so brainwashed to automatically reject the concept of a king because, authoritarianism, evil. Okay, what sort of government do you think you live under? What's really interesting and really shows you just how brainwashed, I'm sorry to say, so many people are, is that as soon as you say we need a king, or it would be a good idea to have a good king, they rebel against that, and the next thing they do is what? Well, I'll tell you how to run society. Everybody wants to be king, especially the libertarians. Those people just want to turn society upside down and have you live by their rules, meaning no rules whatsoever, right? They're like the laziest, least interventionist king. They're the type of king that would just do his own thing and let his country rot. But there's still a king. All these people that have a conniption when you say it would be good to have a good monarch ruling us, showing us the way, they reject that offhand without even thinking about it, and then immediately proceed to telling you how to run your life, telling you what system we need, taking the scepter, putting on that crown, sitting on that throne. Don't get offended, but are you retarded? Everybody wants to be king, while at the same time saying that it's a bad idea. Why? Probably because they realize that they are dragons on some level, demons. You have demons. Well, how do we chase them out? How? Well, we need an exorcism. Why not? Why not? Don't get offended, guys, but it's frustrating dealing with some of you hypocritical cunts out there, man. It's really frustrating. And yeah. I'm still working on suppressing my ego, my demons. It is what it is. So let's look at this concept practically right now. Let's look at the current situation in the world, and let's look at some of these tyrannical kings or would-be kings had they been given a chance. We got this Belarusian king, right? What is his name again? Komarenko, I want to say. I forget. Anyway, this guy has been painted by the Western media as some kind of an evil tyrant authoritarian because he won't let, leftist degenerates get too much power in this country. And he's been, president forever, king. Evil, right? That's all that the media, Western media, has told you about that guy. And I'm not saying he's perfect. I'm not a utopianist, okay? Don't charge me with that nonsense. But as evil as the Western media told you he is, and, I'm sure he's got his own demons, but somehow he's one of very, very few people, governments, who did not deem most of his population non-essential. So it's not likely he'll send them to, gas chambers or concentration camps or the guillotine. Because he believes all of his people are essential. Unlike your, free government in the United States. that democratic one. I mean, that's just one letter off from demon anyway, so. It's allegorical language. Relax. Let me take another sip of my free trade coffee. Or sorry, fair trade. Whatever the hell. Oh, that was a funny comment someone left me. Anyway, so we got the Belarusian tyrant, right? That has a potato farm in his backyard, and he says a cow that feeds people should live in a palace. Now, more allegory, of course, but he's completely anti factory farms. I don't know, man. I'm not saying he's perfect, but he seems like so much better than the king you got, or the democracy, the that horde that runs your life wherever the hell you are. So that's one guy. Then we got this African warlord, right? Sorry, I can't remember his name either. In Tanzania, the president of Tanzania. What do we know about Africa? They're all evil warlords, right? I mean, shit. Many of them are. Look at, as an aside, look at what your free world, right, did to the Libyan president, who was deemed another tyrant, right? Under whom the people of Libya had the highest standard of living in Africa, and no one was homeless. You know, he brought their standard of living way up, and yeah, he had to exorcise some demons. Yeah, heads had to roll in order for him to be able to do that. But look at what they did to that guy, because he wanted to give his people water and gold. Terrible, terrible, man. Anyway, we got the Tanzanian president exposing the COVID scam, right? But all those guys are tyrants. Deemed all of his people essential. Didn't shut down their economy. What an evil, evil tyrant. And then you got Bolsonaro, or however you say that. Portuguese is so difficult. I can understand a lot of it, but pronunciation, that's another thing. Anyway, that, right wing tyrant or authoritarian or whatever, I mean, I wish he were, because last I heard, he was calling this whole thing a scam and saying that we need to be careful because they're trying to take over our government and subjugate our people, right? I wish he were a complete authoritarian where he could actually set his people free. He seems to want to, but he can't because he's an evil tyrant. I mean, what fucking world do you think you live in, dummy? Get mad, I don't care. Because here I am. When I say that a king, a good king, would be better than what you got right now, I'm literally giving you the reins. Figuratively, perhaps. And while you're grabbing those reins, wanting to rule over everybody, you're at the same time saying that kings are evil. What are you really saying? You need God. Take care.